MMA Boxing Talk here. I want to talk about the welterweight division in the UFC. Tyron Woodley's the new champion, and ever since he won the belt, he's been looking for a big money fight, a fight with Nick Diaz or a fight with George St. Pierre, both of which, would be very big money fights for Tyron Woodley. He would make a lot of money. GSP and Nick Diaz have a huge fan base, so they bring in the bacon. That's a big reason why Tyron Woodley does not want to fight Wonderboy. He's not interested in fighting Wonderboy because he thinks he's going to make a lot less money. Now, that's not necessarily true, because if Woodley fights Wonderboy at Madison Square Garden, the first card ever in New York, at Madison Square Garden, he's going to make a ton of money, because that card is going to get promoted and promoted and promoted tremendously. It's a big deal. They're fighting in Madison Square Garden. It's a big deal. So Wonderboy or Woodley would make a ton of money whether he fights Wonderboy or George St. Pierre at MSG. Maybe it'd be a bit more, but regardless, it's going to blow his career high payday out of the water if he fights. Even if he fights Wonderboy, it's still going to double whatever he made, against Robbie Lawler. It might even triple that. Because let's be honest here, UFC 201 wasn't promoted whatsoever. It was squashed in between 200 and 202. But anyway, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, I put out a tweet earlier today, and I have about 1,400 Twitter followers, and I said, retweet if you want to see Wonderboy versus Woodley at UFC 200. And of course I tagged Dana White, and I tagged the UFC, and I tagged Woodley, and I tagged Wonderboy. And this tweet, I posted this around 3 o'clock today. It's been about 3 hours since I posted it, and there is already 277 retweets. 277 retweets. That's a big deal. That's by far the most retweets I've ever had on a tweet. Now, for those of you who don't really follow Twitter, a retweet is like when you share something on Facebook. Anytime people share something, all their followers see what they shared. Well, a retweet is the exact same thing. So 277 retweets, that is a tremendous amount of retweets. That's a tremendous amount of buzz being generated. Don't think the UFC doesn't see that, And nobody, and I mean nobody, is clamoring for George St. Pierre to return. Nobody's clamoring for this Woodley-George St. Pierre, matchup, as much as it's a good matchup and it'd be a great fight. No one's clamoring for that. If anything, the real fans, the hardcore fans that know their sport, but know what's up, they're clamoring for Wonderboy to fight Woodley for the title, It is what it is. I wanted to put out a video, though, and to say that, those of you who have channels out, promote Wonderboy in your videos. The fans have a voice, and at the end of the day, the fans normally get to decide. So if there's enough push, if there's enough generated interest, the UFC will put this fight, and they will make this fight, Woodley versus Wonderboy. So retweet stuff on Twitter, post stuff, upload videos, speaking your mind, and that you want Wonderboy to get the next title shot, which he more than deserves. It is what it is. If you like the video, subscribe. Check me out on Twitter at MMA Boxing Talk 1. Peace.